The LA fires have become a Rorschach test for whatever political views people want to vomit onto the disaster. Welcome to America Uncovered. I'm Chris Chappell. Unfortunately, as with many emergencies and disasters, the LA fires have stoked political flames, as if these fires weren't bad enough without bringing in that dumpster fire. After hearing reports that the LA fire chief warned fire department budget cuts would affect emergency responses and that fire hydrants were going dry, it'd be hard not to think that something clearly went wrong. But because we live in such completely opposite political realities, people are naturally drawing wildly different conclusions. If you lean to the right, you're probably blaming government officials and their focus on DEI and wokeness for the fires.
The department created a diversity, equity, and inclusion bureau to train firefighters not on refilling the hydrants or what to do when they're empty, but on the importance of DEI.
They're going to literally blame global warming on these fires, instead of their own woke DEI incompetence.
So you have this kind of perfect storm of wokeism, and that is what you're seeing.
But many on the left are drawing some very, very different conclusions. Socialist magazine Jacobin says LA wasn't prepared because it didn't have enough redistribution through progressive taxation. So the right is saying LA is too progressive, progressives are saying LA isn't progressive enough, and progressive auto insurance is probably saying all these claims are going to cost us a fortune. And let's not forget the National Students for Justice in Palestine, who say that the LA fires are a manufactured catastrophe caused by corporate greed, climate colonialism, the real estate market, and settler colonialism. A sentiment progressive politicians like Pramila Jayapal sympathize with. A conspiracy theory from a pro-Palestinian group that doesn't blame the Jews? That's actually the most progressive thing I've seen all week. Speaking of Palestinians, pro-Palestinian activists are connecting the LA fires to what's been happening in Gaza. Many of these pro-Palestine activists are blaming Israel and the military aid it receives from the US for the catastrophe, because, why not? I mean, we already know they have giant space lasers.
The LA fires have destroyed an entire city. But where is all the support? It's in Israel.
Imagine if instead of Los Angeles burning to the ground thanks to these wildfires, Los Angeles was being bombed to the ground. Imagine if the largest governments on the planet were supportive of these bombings and funded them and provided weapons to continue the bombing. That's Gaza.
And it's not just Palestinian activists saying America deserves to burn. Far-left group Code Pink, the same people who promote pro-Chinese Communist Party propaganda, are promoting anti-US messages as well, posting on Instagram, when US taxes go to burning people alive in Gaza, we can't be surprised when those fires come home. And US war and genocide is driving the climate crisis. Ah, yes, because if anyone cares about preventing genocides and protecting the climate, it's the Chinese Communist Party. Not wanting to be left out, the Marxists are shockingly making the LA fires about class struggle. Never saw that one coming. Like their pro-Palestine counterparts, the American Communist Party has also condemned the U.S. for its poor fire response and its aid to both Israel and Ukraine. It claims that every working class life destroyed by the fires in Los Angeles is a casualty of the capitalist class's war of extermination against the American people. I thought it was a casualty of government incompetence in the Santa Ana winds. From the Revolutionary Communists of America to the People's Dispatch, there's agreement that the LA fires are exposing the folly of capitalism. Wow, I didn't know that capitalism was responsible for poor forest and reservoir management. They also point to California deploying inmates to help fight the LA fires, which makes me think they're just jealous of the $10.24 a day the inmates make fighting fires. They also criticize the insurance companies dropping California residents. To them, the LA fires are a product of the capitalist system in terminal decline. So what's the conclusion? Well, the Party for Socialism and Liberation summed it up neatly. For LA to live, capitalism must end, abolish the insurance companies, and put in a socialist system. If you watched my previous episode on the LA fires, you'd know that it's actually socialist policies that have made things worse, not better. Now, I don't have anything against trying to figure out what went wrong and how to prevent similar fires from happening in the future. That's important in a fire-prone place like California. We can all see there are lots of problems with the way things currently are. Remember Hurricane Helene that hit the U.S. East Coast last September? Well, it's been over 100 days, it's now 2025, and there are still families living in tents, bracing for a harsh winter storm. So something definitely needs to change. But it really says something when people's first instinct is to make disasters about their political ideology, which pretty much sums up social media. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And in my ongoing attempt to talk about things YouTube considers too controversial by hiding them in gaming content, check out this episode about Marvel Rivals and what it says about unrelenting hunger and OnlyFans. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. Thank you for watching America Uncovered.